everyone, my name is The Imperfectionist and welcome back to Minecraft Survival. I hope you liked that little intro I did. In between episodes I installed Flashback, which is kind of an alternative to Replay mod to create these cool little cinematic videos like you saw at the intro of this video, where I went mining and I gathered a bunch of diamonds. It took me a while until I found any diamonds, but when I did, I immediately stumbled into multiple veins and I got 13 diamonds plus a pickaxe, so I found 16 diamonds. The reason I went looking for these diamonds is because of the work that I have in front of me today. In the last episode, we built ourselves this nice little starter boathouse. I did a little bit of spawn proofing in between episodes and just added some glow light and a button right here because I realized mobs could possibly spawn up here. I wouldn't want a creeper jumping down on me while I'm chilling in my boat. And in this episode, I want to start building on this island right here, and specifically this area. I'll leave this area for later, but let's go ahead and sleep for a second while I talk to you about the plan of today. Because I mentioned in the last episode that this little island could form a nice natural breakwater for our possible port town that I could be building right here, which I think I will. I'm gonna add bunch of docks here, and who knows, maybe in the future this whole forest will have turned into a giant beautiful city. But for now, I want to start. The first goal for this series is to work on this island right here, because I want to decorate this, and to do that I wanted some diamond tools, because today I want to transform this little part of the island into a bit of a farm. We'll build a little house on top of the hill right there, have a bunch of farmland. That's why I've planted a couple fields just to get some crops going, and then later on we can build some houses on this side, like a little offshoot of the main city built on this island. To do that, to work on this field, I'm gonna need a bunch of dirt because I can't plant any crops on the sand that we currently have right here. And I'm gonna get the dirt from over there. As you might see, I've already chopped off just a little bit of this little hill. I think I'm going to kind of flatten out this island, get rid of these higher hills. I don't want whatever I build on this island to block the view of the future city or town that we'll have. Like if we're coming in from that side, from the sea, I don't want this little island to block the city behind it. I want it to just be pretty in the foreground. So this area I'm just gonna add like one house and a bunch of farmland, and then right here we'll have a little more of maybe a market, some industry right here, a bunch of fishing boats or whatever. But I want to keep it all kind of low. The buildings are going to be kind of smaller, probably all just one story. So if we're coming in from that side, we can look over these buildings towards the city that we have right here. To start building our little farmhouse with our crop fields on this side, I'm gonna need to gather up a bunch of dirt from over there. I'm not gonna have enough books for a level 30, but I went out to gather some leather, some sugar cane, and I stumbled across this, and oh, he already seen me. Alright, let's go. gosh, these guys hurt. Oh no! Oh gosh. Well, oh god, I'm spawning in this village too. I don't know which direction do I go. Okay, well that didn't go according to plan. I'm hoping I can get back in time before my stuff despawns. And oh no, I had so many levels too. I was like level 35 or something. Oh gosh. Alright, well, I can only do some very low level enchanting today then. If I even get my stuff back, I hope. It's right there. Oh, there looks like the pillagers continued into here, or the... Oh no, gosh, that's a new group spawning. It looks like... Wait. Oh no. It looks like my stuff is still here, and the group of pillagers around my stuff despawned, so that's nice. Well, that took an unfortunate spin, but we did make it back, and I got some books. So, you know, I ended up with leather. I ended up with loot, just losing my levels, which is quite unfortunate. But I do have the stuff now to make an enchanting table. Let's see if I put this in. I can enchant it to max level, which is level 10 for efficiency 2. That's not great. But I guess that's the best we're gonna get at level 10. I think I'll enchant my shovel and I'll get fortune, which would be lovely if I got that on a pickaxe. But I can put unbreaking on my pickaxe. That's at least something. I did chop off, I kind of shaved down the top of the mountain. It felt like I did more, but we've lost some mountain. And I gathered up quite a bit of dirt already. Let's see, it's in here. I've got a lot of dirt. So I think I can use that to start terraforming this area around a bit. I think I'll keep some of the sand around the edges, around the coastline, mainly because there's a lot of sand underneath and I don't want to have to change up all the sand underneath, which is going to be just a giant pain in the butt. So I'm going to leave some sand around the edges, replace the middle with dirt, and then this edge right here, this higher bit, I think I'm going to add just a little bit of like a retaining wall, which the farmer probably built up to prevent their house from flooding in high tide or from the waves clashing up against it. And the house is also going to be made out of some stone, so yeah, I need to smelt some cobblestone up because I don't have silk touch yet, so that's the only way I can get stone right now, unfortunately. Alright, but I'm gonna start on terraforming this little island, and I'll get back to you when I've made some progress. think I underestimated how much work it was gonna be to turn this whole island into dirt. Our dirt, I've ran out. This is what you see here is all the dirt I had, which I thought I would reach a little more. I wasn't sure I'd be able to do the whole island, but I was hoping it would last us a little more. And I've got almost a double chest full of sand by now. It's taking a toll on my shovel. I've enchanted a second shovel and used that one and then combined them, so I gained a little bit of durability, but I think I'm gonna need a third shovel and a lot more dirt. So I'm going back to the mountain right here to get myself some more dirt, and then I can continue. And there we are. We have a beautiful little island. Well, it's far from finished. I need to do some more texturing, and we need to fill in the island with some of our crop fields. I'm also gonna add a little farmhouse on top of the hill over there. And I thought this area narrowed down quite a bit already in the natural farming terrain, so I'm gonna turn this into a just let water through and build a cute little bridge. So this farmer living on this little island has an actual closed off island all to himself. And then we're gonna add some crop fields, we're gonna add some trees. I want, I think maybe over there, the farmer to have some bees too, which is gonna let us keep some bees for some beeswax, which we can use, of course, to make candles and to wax our copper. But before I get to building more and to texturing this, well, the grass also has to spread all the way out. I'm going to start planning out the, let's see, do I have the leaves in here? I'm going to start planning out the crop fields and where everything in the island is gonna go. I've kept my leaves on the island. I'm gonna circle out some crop fields using leaves, and we're also gonna have just some empty space, a pathway running through, of course, to get to the house. And I'm just gonna go ahead and plan that out. Just like this house, I'm just gonna put some blocks down to get a bit of an idea, a view of what the layout of the island is going to be. I've also added some cliffs over here. Well, a cliff, a bit of a retaining wall, which I think is quite nice. I'm gonna, of course, also texture and detail out this bit, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's first plan out the rest of the island and get our crop fields in place, because then I can actually start planting crops, and while I'm decorating and texturing the rest of the island, my crops can grow and I can fill my fields. So I'm gonna do some planning and I'll catch back up with you guys when I'm finished. And there we are. We have some planning. I've got 4 crop fields right now. So we can have, I don't think I have any beetroot, but I can grow wheat, carrots and potatoes, and I'll do 2 wheat fields probably, because I'm probably gonna end up using quite a lot of wheat, practically speaking, just for mud and maybe for bread as food. I've left some space around, mainly here. I have some plans to have the farmer keep some bees, and right here it's just an entry to the island, so maybe he stocks up like supplies. Maybe he'll have just a tiny little shed maybe to like keep hay bales and keep stuff to easily be transported into this part of town, and then over a bridge that's probably gonna end up coming here into the town we're gonna end up building in the future. I don't think I'm gonna add a bridge connecting this, because I want boats like the boat I built before to be able to pass through here. And if I want a boat like this to be able to pass through with a mast sticking out this high, I'm gonna need to build a kind of comically tall bridge. So instead what I'm gonna do is keep this side open. Boats can go, like larger boats, taller boats can come through here. And on this side I'll build a bridge that smaller boats could still pass through, but the bigger ships will have to enter and exit through this little bit right here. And then right now this island, I think it's gonna be looking quite good, so I'm gonna start filling in these crop fields first of all, and then I'm gonna start building our little farmhouse. And hi there, welcome back. It's been quite a bit of time since I last spoke to you guys. I did get the crop fields all filled out, and you might also notice a nether portal over there. I have been to the nether, but really only for like a split second, because the only reason I went in was to get some quartz, and I was lucky enough to find some quartz like literally 3 or 4 blocks away from the portal. But the reason I needed quartz is the moss farm, because I finished that. That's why I needed to go to the nether. I needed a couple of comparators and observers those need quartz. So right here in our little secret entrance we have a moss farm. Now, is there any bone meal in? Yeah, I can go ahead and turn it on for you guys, show you what it looks like. And there we go. Working moss farm. So yeah, the way this farm works, there's a stone generator underneath this. You can hear the lava going. It flows over water, generates stone, which is then pushed this way, where it is turned into moss by this moss block, which is being bone mealed. Not anymore. Bone meal's already out, so there wasn't a lot in. This gets bone mealed. It turns the stone into moss, which is then broken by the pistons pushing it. Water flows over, collecting all the azalea bushes and the moss carpet and the leaves and stuff, which you also need to get rid of, otherwise it spreads over stone and the stone below doesn't turn into moss. And then there's just like a simple redstone hopper clock to time it. I didn't design this farm myself. I got the design from Pixlriffs. I will leave his video about this moss farm in the description if you're interested. I did change out the collection mechanism. He used hopper minecarts to collect his moss, which just was a bit of a hassle to me. Like hoppers were just easier. This should supply me with an infinite amount of bone meal. Like, and there we go. We've got. Wait, that's less bone meal than I put in. Oh. All right. Well, that's a bummer. I thought this would create more bone meal than it uses, but apparently not. But even if it doesn't, I guess we do have a moss farm to get us a bunch of moss, some azalea, and well, no bone meal apparently. But then the house, and let's just show you, because this is number 47 on whatever street this is, Carrot and Co. Because inside we have a tiny little restaurant. I decided to change it up, and I decided that these crops here are being grown mostly to be, sold out into the city, but part of the crops grown here are used right next door in this little restaurant. I guess it's a vegetarian restaurant, maybe even vegan, because they just use the crops they have right here. I even added a little menu with some seating and a kitchen behind here, and there's a lot of composters in this kitchen. That's because I intend to keep some villagers in here. I want to get some farmers, some farming villagers. They use composters, and I want to have them stay in here. There's a village nearby. I just gotta bow them in, and then we can trade the crops we grow right here with the villagers, and get us a nice supply of emeralds. And farmer villages also sell golden carrots at their later stages once you've leveled them up, which is one of the. I think it's the best food source in the game. So I'll end up coming here to. Using these crops to get some emeralds, and then using those emeralds, giving them back to the villagers to get us some good food. The only thing left to do today is to finish decorating out this island. And once we've done that, we should be done for today. I'm not sure how long this episode is going to be by now, but I think I've done quite a bit of talking already. So I'm just going to finish up this island. I'll just show you guys the cinematics, and then I'll give you guys just a little walk around to finish the day off. Welcome back. It's been quite a bit of time. It took me a while. I checked my statistics, and it's been 7.5 hours since my last death, which was while I was terraforming the island. But we are finished, and it has been a success. Let's go ahead, take a walk through the island. Let's take a look. Just gonna put my armor back on, just in case, you never know. Oh, I didn't clean up the nether portal, I just noticed, but oh well, that's not a big deal. let's take the boat over here. So there is gonna be a bridge here in the future, but I don't have that yet. But it's just gonna be a small, a cute little bridge into the little town that's gonna end up being built here. But right here, we have the farming island. Just ignore the nether portal and everything. I really like how the beach turned out. I used coarse dirt, transitioning into the sand with these, what's it called? Leaf litter. Let's put you over there. And I really like how that works. Just transitioning into the sandy bits, walking in past these cute little birch trees. We'll come through some crop fields. We have carrots, wheat, potatoes over there. Yeah, look at that. I really like these bushes. Let's call it, oh no. Oh gosh, I broke it. That's unfortunate. Here's another one. I really like these new bushes. I just came across them while hunting for some flowers, and they just look so nice. It's nice to have a bit of variation between grass and, I don't know, I haven't found any ferns yet, so just having these bushes to switch it up is really nice. And also the firefly bushes. I'll have to take a look at night to see the particles of the fireflies flying around, but these are really cool. Right here we have entrances to all the crop fields, so I don't have to jump over the bushes and trample them. There's a bit of a path leading this way. There's nothing here, but it's just a spot to do some fishing and enjoy the view. But if we can head this way, we arrive at Carrot and Co. Right here, I still have to add the beehives, but I don't have any silk touch yet, so I can't pick up any bees from in the forest. So that'll have to wait. But Carrot and Co. Well, we've seen this before, but let's take a look again with shaders at our beautiful little restaurant. It needs some extra light. I had like another lantern on the counter, but it didn't work with the trapdoors, so I guess I'll need to replace that. This is looking very nice. Once we get some villagers in here, it'll really make the build feel alive, and I think it'll look really cool. And then of course we have our moss farm, currently empty, no bone meal, because apparently this thing does not create more bone meal than it uses. That's kind of what I was hoping for. It's the main reason I built this, not for the moss, but for some early game bone meal. But I guess I'll have to find another way. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll run into a skeleton spawner, or I'll just build a generic mob grinder, maybe. And then last of all, I have these this little retaining wall, or well, no, I wouldn't call it a cliff, but I do really like how this looks with the house on top. Well, it's not a house, with the restaurant on top, Carrot and Co. Look at that. That's just gorgeous. I really like how this build turned out, and I hope you guys do too. That's gonna be it for this episode. In the next one, let's start. I think I will start working on the next island, and then from there, eventually, we'll continue onto the big mainland. But I think I like starting out. What was that? Just, I feel like there's new ambient sounds in the game, which they constantly like trip me up. I think there's like a mob walking up to me, coming up behind me, but well, anyway, in the next episode we'll tackle this island, and I like, yeah, you hear that? It's like a spider coming up to me. well, as I was trying to say, I really like starting out with an island like this as a project, because it's something easy to finish, and it feels complete like this, the whole island. While if I was to start building here on a large town, I could finish up a few builds here and there, of course, but it would take a long time before like a project like such a town would feel finished. But this island, it kind of stands on its own, and it feels like it's done. I'm happy with it like this, and I can move on to the next project, which I like. It helps give more of a feeling of accomplishment, and especially as the sun is setting right now, I'm really happy with how it turned out today. Let's take a quick look from the top of our crow's nest. Again, with the sunset now, it is looking, oh wow, the sunset itself is beautiful, but the island too is really nice. And as the sun is setting and our island is disappearing into the dark, I want to thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.